Hi, it's B. I've been watching this awesome storytelling contest on TV, and it reminded me of what we've learned about authors' purpose. Some authors write to inform or teach us something new, while others write to persuade us to believe or do something. But this show is all about writing to entertain. There are just two authors left to present their stories tonight as part of the first round of the competition, and I thought, why not bring you along to watch with me? Okay, looks like we have a commercial break. While we wait, let's talk a little more about the word entertain. What comes to mind when I say entertain? When I hear the word entertain, I think of things that grab my attention. Things that are fun, interesting, surprising. Maybe you thought of watching a TV show or movie, seeing a magic show, listening to music, or laughing at a comedian's jokes. Those are all types of entertainment. Books can entertain too. For some authors, like the ones on this show, that's their main purpose for writing. These stories give the reader an enjoyable reading experience. They might make you think, feel emotions, or get so immersed in a story that you can't wait to find out what happens next. Texts written to entertain can engage our imaginations, help us think deeply, and encourage us to connect with characters. That's why genres like fiction and poetry are usually written to entertain. The show's back. Let's watch.
Welcome back, story fans. It's time to hear from our last two authors for this evening. Please welcome Caroline.
Hi, everyone. My story is called Monday. It was Monday morning, which meant back to school. Lily got up and got dressed. She caught the bus and walked to her classroom with her best friend. She learned a lot and had her favorite special gym class. Before she knew it, it was time to go home.
So, what'd you think? It was a nice story, but it felt like something was missing, didn't it? It just lists events. We didn't hear what Lily saw or felt, what made the day special or exciting. Let's listen to the next one.
Thank you, Caroline. And now our final author in the first round. Please welcome Jenna.
Hi all. My story is called Aquarium Adventure. Ring ring. Alex's alarm went off and he jumped out of bed. Today was his family trip to the aquarium. He put on his favorite shark shirt and ran down the steps. "Let's go, Mom!" he shouted with excitement. They hopped in the car and off they went. When they arrived, Alex was surrounded by huge glass tanks. He saw jellyfish, stingrays, turtles, and more. Then, just as he turned a corner, he froze. There it was. The moment he'd been waiting for. The shark tunnel. Long, curving glass stretched above his head like a sea cave. Giant sharks swam silently over him, their fins slicing through the water. "This is the best day ever," Alex said with a grin.
Wow, that was entertaining. When Alex froze, I was on the edge of my seat, ready to hear what happened next. I could picture the shark tunnel and feel Alex's excitement. Today, we will explore what authors like Jenna do to make their writing entertaining. Pause the video and reread Aquarium Adventure. What made this story fun and exciting to read? What made the story come to life? Record your thoughts. You might have noticed how the story elements were described. Through sensory details, we got to know the character, Alex, and the setting, the aquarium. The author described what Alex saw, felt, and heard, helping us imagine the story in our minds. You may have also noticed the dialogue. Alex's words made him feel real and brought the story to life. The story also followed the structure we've used: beginning, middle, and end. These elements make a story entertaining and keep us reading. Remember Pollywog Planet? I bought it at the book fair earlier this week. The author said his purpose was to entertain. Let's take a closer look and see if we can spot what makes it entertaining. The day Pete and his friends had dreamed of was finally here. They had spent months building a spaceship in Pete's garage. Today, they would finally blast off to Pollywog Planet. Pete tightened his helmet. He was tall and skinny, with messy hair sticking out from under his helmet. "Everyone ready?" he called, trying to sound brave. "Let's do this!" shouted Zoe, buckling into her seat. Her eyes sparkled with excitement. Jamal gave a thumbs up and grabbed the launch lever. He didn't say much, but his calm smile made everyone feel a little safer. With a rumble and a whoosh, the spaceship shook. Light flashed outside the windows as the ground disappeared below them. "We're really flying!" Pete shouted. As they zoomed through space, glowing stars lit up the ship. Suddenly, the ship jolted. An alarm beeped. "Uh-oh," said Zoe, gripping her armrest. This author definitely has me entertained. Let's take a look at the story elements and descriptive language that make this story so fun to read. First, let's think about the setting. Can you picture the scene where Pete and his friends take off into space? Pause the video and underline or record the words that helped you imagine the setting. I loved this part where the author wrote, "Light flashed outside the windows as the ground disappeared below them," and "glowing stars lit up the ship." The details about the setting made me feel like I was there in the spaceship with them. Next, think about the characters. Did the author describe any internal or external traits that helped bring them to life? Pause and circle or record one detail about a character from the story. This description of Pete's external traits helped me picture him. The author helps us see the character clearly instead of leaving it all to our imagination. How about dialogue? Find one piece of dialogue that helped you imagine what was happening. Pause the video and record your example. The end stood out to me. Not only does Zoe say, "Uh-oh," but the author also includes the detail of her gripping the armrest, helping me imagine how she's feeling in the moment. I wonder what will happen next. That's the power of a problem or surprise to keep us hooked. Today, we explored how authors entertain their readers. They create vivid settings and memorable characters, use descriptive language that helps us picture the story in our minds, include dialogue to bring moments to life, and introduce problems or surprises that keep us curious. We saw how Caroline's story, Monday, had all the right pieces: characters, setting, beginning, middle, and end, but without descriptive details, expressive language, and dialogue, it wasn't as entertaining to read. We've explored all three purposes for authors' writing: to inform, to persuade, and to entertain. Next time, we'll talk more about how authors' perspectives shape their writing. Until then, remember, where there are words, there's a world to explore.
Hey, hey.